Hey everybody,
Hi everyone,
Mr. and Mrs. Travelers here.
ElleKosGlam. We didn't have time to warn you for going live, but we have breaking news.
All right, everybody. So, breaking news hot off the presses from Carnival Cruise Lines. We have some updates and I think some good news that we're actually talking about this. So, we'll dig into that in just a few minutes. Not a few minutes, in a few seconds. As soon as we get back from this.
Do you see this smile on Mr. Traveler's face? Let's do it.
All right, everybody. So thank you so much for tuning in to this Friday afternoon. We were actually going to try to wait and do this live from Epcot. We were headed to Epcot for a little date night exploration.
I think this is better than date night. I'm so sorry. We got some good news, that really sad video we did the last time. Thank you so much for watching. Canada banned all cruising, but we have good news today, so hopefully this will help. And then we can go ahead and continue on to our date night.
All right, guys, if you would, go ahead and hit. I see a lot of thumbs up coming. If you like these videos, keep those thumbs up coming as we try to keep you guys informed on the latest and greatest cruise news out there. And we're your certified cruise counselors as we get through this together.
And if you can, give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody who's on the thumbs up, this coming through, all the hellos, all the beautiful welcome to our channel invitations we giving you, go ahead and use it. Hit the subscribe button and the notification button. That way we upload every week, and we go live from places that you want to be in. Trust me. If you're looking forward to your next vacation, please give us a call at 877-697-4470, or we can be reached at www.mr-traveler.com. And you can contact us and we can help you go ahead and fulfill your after the pandemic needs.
All right, so let's talk about it a little bit, guys. So I think that this is very good news to actually have a cruise line talking about this information, which has really been answering some of the questions that we've been wondering about on what is cruising going to look like as we return to cruising.
Yes. And
for the cruise line and Carnival in this case to come out and say, here's what we're going to do, I think is very good news. That means that they are planning and planning on returning to the sailing with a very firm plan. Mm-hmm. So let's discuss a little bit about this. Some of this stuff we did anticipate, and some of these things on here are what we didn't know, but now we know.
This information just came out, so there is no more videos on this. You first hearing it from Mr. and Mrs. Traveler, where we decided to study and research, and every time we get information, we just go ahead and come on here live or however we need to make sure we can get you traveling. So we hope you appreciate our hard work.
All right, so let's talk about it. So pre-cruise information. Every guest that is 2 years of age or older, that's 2 years of age or older, will be required to have a SARS-CoV-2 test anywhere between 24 hours to 5 days before the test, before the cruise, and must have a negative test result. Now, I think the one thing that this does not address, which we're finding out doing land trips, is becoming kind of a little bit of an issue now that the COVID tests are required to get back in the country. So one of the things that we have been noticing is that people who have contracted COVID, say like in December, are still populating the test results as positive because they still have whatever, and I'm not a scientist, so the antibodies or whatever in there. Mm-hmm. And I think that I read somewhere that could happen for like up to 90 days before those effects give a positive result. Excuse me. So Anyway, one of the ways that land-based operators and the airlines are overcoming this is getting a note from the doctor saying this patient had did have COVID. It is now free from the COVID. Here's the letter affirming that, and so that they may have a positive COVID test. So that's something that is not addressed in this with Carnival. So that'll be interesting to see how they address that. But I have a feeling it'll be similar to what they have done with the airlines and with the land resorts.
So every guest 2 and over has to have a test before boarding.
Yep, 24 hours
And
to
they
5
have
days.
to have proof of that test before selling. Okay.
Yep.
Got it?
Guests are responsible for the payment of that, so that's on you. Testing performed in the terminal or on board this ship by providers retained by Carnival are included in your cruise fare. So I'm not quite sure what that means. That may be some additional testing maybe that they'll perform there. So that's kind of curious why they have that in there, because it says up to 24 hours before the cruise. So that may be like a backup thing there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
All guests will be required to complete a health questionnaire beginning 72 hours before they embark to identify any symptoms that are associated with COVID. If a guest discloses symptoms or close contact with an individual with actual or suspected infection, or if they display a temperature of 99.5 degrees or above, they will undergo a secondary screening by medical personnel to determine whether guests may board the ship. So that's probably why they have the one there in the terminal to do the secondary testing if needed. Okay. Any guest who refuses to be tested, screened, or follow Carnival's COVID policies will be denied boarding, and no refund or credit will be issued.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Okay,
so
they're really strict about this. I see the super chats and I see the questions. We're going to do a question and answer session at the end. And thank you so much in advance for the super chats. We're going to go ahead and make acknowledgement of them when we finish. We want to get this information out because this is very important.
yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you so much for being patient.
Okay, so during the cruise, let's talk about compensation for a shortened cruise experience. So if you contract COVID on board, it says a guest that tests positive for COVID during the duration of the cruise, Carnival may disembark, refuse reboarding after a short excursion, or quarantine guests, as well as members of the guest traveling party. Under these circumstances, as any such guest who is disembarked, refused reboarding, or quarantined shall be entitled to a prorated future cruise credit for the unused portion of the cruise fare. So they will give you some compensation for that if you contract COVID, you or somebody in your party, if you have to be quarantined or not allowed back on the ship.
Okay.
So that is part of it. However, the other part to this, if you fail to comply with the policies that are going to be in place,
Here we go again.
no dinero for you.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Like Deborah said, oh, Lord.
Yep. You're out of luck. Masks. Any guests, all guests over the age of 2 will be required to wear a mask when indoors, except inside their own stateroom, while eating and drinking, seated at a table, and when using the cardio equipment at the gym, and physical distancing is maintained. Guests are required to wear masks outdoors when physical distancing cannot be maintained. So what's interesting and different about that is, what about the swimming pool?
That wasn't stated in the statement, right?
That is not stated in this statement right now. We do know that we
Over
saw
in Europe and Singapore, they don't wear masks at the pool.
right, the pools are open and they did not wear masks.
Okay.
So that is not mentioned in here. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to
really concentrating in this statement. If whatever you don't do, if you don't do this and if you don't do that, so we want to make sure we follow the policies. That if you have to read this and we're going to attach information at the bottom. If you have to watch this video, make sure you watch it again, because they are really, really enforcing masks and social distancing. If you cut up on a cruise, you don't get a refund, and you will probably be banned from all cruises.
And I see
It's serious business.
I see that KK Gilby is saying with
Yep.
the pools outside, but is saying that guests are required to wear a mask outdoors when physical distancing cannot be maintained.
That's Kathy Gilbertson.
So that, around the Lido deck area, oftentimes it's a little crowded, and so that'll be something interesting.
I think we have to use our own discretion to figure it out.
My gut is almost telling me that they're not going to fill the pools or have the pools closed.
For a while, they won't be.
So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, social distancing. Access to public spaces will be limited, and venues/activities will operate at a reduced capacity. A reservation system may be used for public areas such as pools, gyms, and casinos. Okay, so there's the pools part. So maybe they'll do a limited access for the pools, and then you don't have to wear the mask.
You have to make a reservation to go to the pool, and you have to make a reservation to go to the theaters.
I don't know how I feel about that, but whatever. Let's get on the ship. Guests can expect appropriately distanced seating in theaters, dining facilities, and other common venues, modified entertainment showings, and meal services to control capacity. So this is good. So this is like what we were talking about before.
Yeah, we discussed this.
Where we said the European cruises were doing the theaters in such a way that people were socially distanced there, so you could enjoy the theater show without wearing your mask, which is good.
I'm thinking it would be like the movies that we go to down here where 2 or 3 are empty.
Right. So I think that's good.
I think that's a good thing too.
Okay, and we're getting to the big one everybody's really curious about, and we weren't sure about. We're saving that kind of for last. Contact tracing. All guests may be required to provide identifying information and information about certain activities engaged in during the cruise, so Carnival can perform contact tracing in the event any person on board is suspected or confirmed to have COVID-19. Does not really go into detail on there. What we've seen before with some of the things that have been done is everybody has been given the bands that monitor the motion around the ship where you're at any given time. So that may be a thing that they do.
Well, that's what's happening at Disney with our bands. They are tracking us at Disney. We use our bands for everything at Disney. I'm thinking comparing to cruises, it may be the same way, where you pay for everything using your band. You open your door using your band. It'll be like that.
I believe over in Europe, again, I'm kind of using them for the money. You'll keep hearing me saying using Europe because they were the first ones to get back to some kind of sailing. So I believe that some of the cruise lines they were given the medallions, the arm bracelets to the guests for that purpose. And another thing that they may do is access to cell phones and give you Wi-Fi. That may be an option as well.
Yeah, so far we covered things that you have to do during the cruise. We covered some procedures, and now we're going to do some talking points on what's important and what we need to know before we cruise Carnival. This is a big deal that has happened today. We have not seen guidelines in a year. I mean, this is a big deal.
So
let me let Mr. Traveler finish up because I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know you're looking at the questions and everything.
I see all the questions, and I'm going to go back as soon as you're done.
All right, so the last one, and this is kind of the important one, and we were curious about this. This is the one I'm not in love with, but okay, we got to do what we got to do to get back on the ship. Shore excursions. During the initial return to sail, guests will only be allowed to participate in excursions or activities executed and escorted by vetted tour operators. Shoreside visits may also be limited to port areas that have no public access. Self-exploration or non-Carnival sponsored excursions will not be permitted. This policy applies to all sailings scheduled during the declared public health emergency involving COVID-19. So that was the big question right there. We are not going to be allowed to go off on our own for this initial return to sailing.
Okay, so let's do a scenario. Let's say you and your family of 4, want to cut corners and don't want to pay the excursion fee. You want to just go off on your own and get your own taxi. Let's say in Jamaica, you want to just do your own thing. You will not be allowed back on the ship. I'm telling you, if you do this.
I think more than that, I don't think you're going to be allowed off of the ship without proof of going on that excursion.
I think you have to show the tickets before you get off the ship.
Yeah.
And if you decide to go on your own, like catch a cab or or
Right.
go on a city bus
If you
and
leave the
go to
excursion.
your family's house, you will be in so much trouble when you come back.
And so, but now one of the things that was interesting to me,
Mm-hmm.
which may give us a little bit more freedom, is that it says that it's limited to port areas that have no public access. It says this may be an option. So this wouldn't be too bad, I don't think, if it went to, like, say,
As long as we do what we're supposed to.
let's say it went to, what's Carnival's Island? Brain fart.
That is
Castaway. No, not, that's Disney.
Half Moon.
Half Moon Cay, thank you. So Half Moon Cay may be a great option. So the ship can go to Half Moon Cay. That's their private island.
Yes.
And you may be able to have free reign there, which would be amazing.
Yes, it would. But if you're talking about going to Mr. Sancho's and you bought your tickets online without being in the cruise line,
Yeah.
you cannot do day trips at the hotels without letting the cruise lines know before the phone start ringing, before people start calling us. Because these are the calls that we get all the time. Do not deviate and don't do an excursion through the ship. We're telling you today. Today is February 5th. We're telling you. The statement came out today. Please do not go on your own, because you will not be able to get back. And you better take about $1,000 if you think you want to go visit your family there or something.
So some of the people,
you have to fly back.
Some of the people in Italy did a shore excursion, and then
This
during the
has happened.
excursion, they left off on their own, and they were not allowed back on the ship. Their bags were politely waiting for them on the pier. So
We're trying to help you.
they're going to be very strict on this. I saw somebody ask a question on the capacity size. That is not mentioned in the article. They have not publicized that yet.
Right.
But I think the person said 50%, and I think that's a pretty fair assumption. And I think that's to me a fair number to go by is 50%. But that's just a guess. They have not came out and said this.
Yep.
So just to kind of quickly recap, so they're going to require us to wear masks on the ship in all the public areas, out except for our stateroom and areas that that we can have some social distancing. Sounds like they're gonna social distance the theater and the restaurants. You can obviously don't have to wear your mask during your meals.
Of course.
The pool is going to be the big question mark on this.
I imagine hand sanitizer will be everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be washy-washy.
It's gonna be a lot
They're
of
going to play the
washy-washy.
washy-washy song over the thing. Washy-washy.
Yeah.
This
is progress. One day
Sure.
closer, CJ.
Yes. Yes, it's definitely is, CJ. And shore excursions are going to be monitored. You're going to have to go with a sponsored excursion.
But again, let's stress failure to comply. We have to stress this because this was told. We, as travel agents, as owning our own franchise, we have got to stress. Do not deviate from the cruise, please. And I said it 3 times. You got it. Don't deviate from the cruise line. Please don't deviate from the excursions of the cruises for Carnival. They will not allow you back on the ship. Now, you heard it here. All this information that we rolled out today, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you use it. And I know there's everybody who is commenting have Carnival Cruises coming up, whether it's this year or next year. And I'm sure this policy will follow up until 2022. So this is progress that it rolled out, but we just wanted to make sure Mr. Traveler get all the information out before we address all the comments, all the super chats. Thank you so much for all the comments. And is that everything?
Yeah, I believe so. We'll try to tackle some of these
I see a
questions
lot
on
of
here.
people came on late,
So-
but you just rewatch the video.
So
we've been talking for about
Robert
15
Halliburton
minutes.
said they have a cruise in July to Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
His dad's never been on a cruise ship before, which he's going to really enjoy that, I think, although it's going to be a little bit different as a first-time cruise experience. However, I don't think you'll be going to Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands has stated that they are not going to allow cruise ships on their island, seems like for 2021. So there's that. And just to quickly recap, guys, they're going to have a SARS-CoV test between 24 hours to 5 days before your cruise, do the cruise questionnaire. Then you have to social distance, you have to wear a mask, and you're going to have to do the shore excursions that are provided by Carnival. Yes. And I imagine they will probably be at some kind of a reduced rate just so they're not like gouging or anything. So let me go back up through here.
Let me go ahead and make acknowledgement of these super chats that actually pushes our videos and our business.
Let me find them here.
Thank you so much, Keisha Riddick. And as soon as Mr. Traveler finds it, we're going to go ahead and there it is.
There we go.
Keisha Riddick, thank you so much. Finally got to catch you live, and thank you for all you do to keep us informed. You both are awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Keisha. Thank you for being such an awesome person yourself. We couldn't do this without you.
Thank you, Keisha.
From our buddy Alistair Chalmers. Thank you. He is also one of our Patreons, and we appreciate you.
Where's my super chat button? Yeah. Well, okay, here we go, right here. Yeah, all the way from Scotland. Here you go, my friend.
Thank you so much. He says, hi, everyone. Thank you for your help. He always in the background, but he actually pushes our channel as well. Every red copper will go towards our vision and our business. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you, Alistair.
So the Recon one asked about what if a guest has the vaccine. Now,
can you show proof of the papers?
You're going to have to bring the vaccine with you, because I've also heard that then you test positive if you had the vaccine. Because yes. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. But definitely you want to have any records that you possibly can have when it comes to this thing. If you've been positive, if you've had the vaccine, bring it with you. Regardless of whether you've had the vaccine, I think you're still going to have to take the SARS-CoV test. It does not say that because you had the vaccine, you don't have to give the test. You're going to have to give the test no matter what.
Okay, Blessed Nettie 69 said, will Carnival be running at 50% capacity at first?
Yeah, again, we don't know. They haven't come out and made an official announcement on the capacity size, but I would venture to say that that's a pretty good guess. I would say it would be somewhere in that ballpark.
And Don asks, I'm late. Shoot, I'm late. When is Carnival going back? That's the date that they scheduled.
Well, they're right there the first week in May. For a few of the ships right now. So, and that's all cruise lines. All your big ones are scheduled for that first week in May right now.
One time, if you're ready to go back, Cruise Talk already started it. One time, if you're ready to go back cruising, and you will take the first thing out of here. One time for that. Give us a one. Hit us with a one.
Yep. So
Robert Halliburton said, test cruises.
That is, I think, definitely a possibility. I know many people signed up for the ones on Royal Caribbean. I would say that that's a definite possibility. They may use their own personnel to make that happen, though. I don't know. I haven't seen anything from them. Royal Caribbean did actually do a sign-up for those who want to do it. So,
okay, and Christina Arias asks a really good question. I was wondering about places like Grand Turk. Get off the ship and go right on the beach right there? I think that's not allowed.
No.
That's not allowed.
Unless there's a sponsored shore excursion that takes you from that ship to that beach in Grand Turk.
They're going to be really, 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 really strict on where you go once you get off the ship.
No, well, I take it. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. Because the port in Grand Turk, that beach right there, technically, is still in the cruise terminal. Technically, but
that's what I was thinking. Is at the port.
But
we have to double check.
It's very easy to get into that port off of Grand Turk from the outside. So I don't know. Put that one on the follow up.
Jermaine said Carnival will win big this time on excursions now. Hope they will at least team up with Mr. Sancho's and other excursions. Me too, because everybody loves to go to Mr. Sancho's. They have really good food. It's a beautiful facility, but it's not one of the excursions. Is it one of the excursions?
No, but again, that is a good point. They could possibly team up with them, and I'm sure that a lot of these resorts are going to be begging for the business from the cruise line, saying, hey, we will be a sponsored, we'll keep the public out, it'll be just your beach for the day, and that's definitely a possibility.
Make sure you read the comments below. When we upload the video, we take the comments down so you can finish talking on Mr. Traveler Cruise Lovers, where we continue this conversation. But since there is some really good information in here. I want to go ahead and keep these questions up until about tonight, and then you won't be able to view them anymore because we have so many trolls, and I don't want people trolling our people because they really are really good cruisers, and I don't want to be trolled myself. So we're going to keep this conversation that's going below till tonight, and after tonight you won't see these questions that's in this chat, but you will be able to comment under the video. So thank you so much. And if you can, jump over to Mr. Traveler Cruise Lovers and go ahead and join us on Facebook. You have to answer the 3 questions. If you do not answer those 3 questions, myself, Mr. Traveler, or Cruise Talk cannot allow you into our private group. We want to make sure you're serious about cruising because that's how we keep the trolls out. So thank you. And then CJ Lau said, at this point, I don't care if I'm on the. I just want to be on the ship as long as I'm on it. I need a vanilla cream brulee.
Okay, so the real, wonderful. Let's grab this here. Where's my little? There we go. That's what I was looking for. Winifred.
Oh, thank you so much, Winfred.
Winfred, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. It's helping us to better our vision of our business, and it really does help. As you know, we're not selling right now, so we're not working. But thank you so much. Every red copper goes towards our vision. I see Randy. Miss you guys here in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Hi, Randy.
They got no winter down there.
No winter whatsoever. And today's weather here is a beautiful, beautiful 80 degrees. It's going to be 80 all weekend, and I think summer is trying to come early here.
So now you think, I'm always thinking ahead and thinking about what we're going to have to do here. I think one of the most important things that we're going to have to work on, cruise family, this is going to be rough.
It's going to be rough. But
it may look a little silly, but I want you to be fully prepared. Think about how are you, when we do the wobble, you're going to have to do the wobble and all your dances with your mask on because it's not going to be socially distanced, okay?
And it's going to be very hot.
So in your living room, start putting those masks on.
Start practicing with the
We're going to have to, you might have to work out a little bit, do a couple push-ups or jumping jacks or something.
Yes.
And get ready so you can do the mask wobble.
Because they're going to definitely have the mask police. And we see them at Disney all the time where they say, pull your mask up. If it's showing above, below your nose, they say, pull it up. There's going to be mask police everywhere. This is such good news. I hope you enjoy your weekend. It's Friday. Hopefully we made you smile today and feel better. This makes me happy.
Yes, it's good to see them making these preparations here.
I like how everybody's saying, hello, Mr. and Miss Traveler, elbow cough. And making sure you cough at your elbow. That's Carol Harrison. How you doing?
Yes. So, yes.
Auntie Gladys, hi. We get one day closer, Auntie.
All right, so yes, very good news. I am glad to hear that we're making some provisions to head in the right direction here for the cruising, at least making some plans. At least we know what we're going to be able to expect from Carnival.
Yes, we have some ground rules. They strict, but I think we can follow them. I think we can.
Yep, and, just like everything that we have seen from the cruise lines, as we've been going through this past year, can you believe it?
Year. Let me tell you, it's been challenging.
The other cruise lines, I am certain, will follow suit to these. Their guidelines are going to look very, very similar to these. I think the biggest question that we were all kind of wondering, and we kind of guessed on most of these that these were going to be requirements for this. But one thing that we were not sure about was the testing and the vaccine.
If you already had the vaccine and testing.
So we weren't sure what that was going to look like now, but we know that everybody over the age of 2 is going to have a test in order to board the ship.
And you're going to have to wear a mask.
And the other part that we were kind of unsure about was what the shore excursions were going to look like. And now we know.
And I'm sure they're going to do some test cruises first, and they will announce when they do that. When they do, we will announce it on our channel. That way you can call us and book. So I think they want to do some volunteers first or something like that. It's going to be really, really small groups, maybe 25%. Then they're going to up up it to 35%, then 45% is going to be probably a tier effect, and then we will be cruising at 50%. This is going to be a slow process. It took us a year to get to where we are.
That's your prediction?
That's my prediction. It's taking us a year to get to where we are. It's going to probably take us another year to get back to normal. That's my prediction. So hopefully we made you smile today.
I know I feel a little bit better, don't you?
Watch the video again if you want to hear all the rules and regulations. And this is going to be I'm predicting this is going to be a domino effect for Royal, Norwegian, Celebrity, Princess, and probably some luxury lines as well. So we'll see what happens.
Good point. Dria's 7-Eleven says, I hope the ports allow ships and don't close like Canada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see too much of that. Mm-hmm. In the Caribbean. They are probably, yes, please come back, with a couple of exceptions. One of them being Grand Cayman. Grand Cayman has really said that they don't want any cruise ships right now.
No, they don't need them.
They are a financial center, not only the Caribbean, but for other countries. So they don't necessarily depend on tourism like a lot of the other islands do.
I think we will be back, but probably not for a couple years to Grand Turk. Once everything blow over, Caymans. Mm-hmm. Once everything blow over, we'll be back at Caymans because they're not going to miss that money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Deborah Jenkins said the wobble will become the faint, right? Y'all ain't gonna make the wobble as long as you used to. They're gonna have to shorten the.
Pretty girl says so. So are you guys saying that my cruise on the Mardi Gras next summer will be half full, more full for me? She meant more food for me. That's right.
Right. Yeah. That's a very distinct possibility. Mm-hmm. Again, the percentages of how many people will be on the ship has not been. They haven't come out with that portion of it yet. Yep. But this is very good news, and to me, guys, when you have companies like Carnival and these other big companies, they have people in the know, and when I say in the know, in the politics,
they know exactly what's going on. That's right.
So when you start seeing them making moves and different things like this, kind of gives you an inkling that they've been kind of given the green light, like, okay, guys, in May,
it's time to roll.
In May, we're going to let you guys roll and see how it goes.
Yeah, just test it out.
And that's why you saw them cancel all of them through April, like we were telling you guys back in December and January. Like, we knew they were going to cancel them all the way through April, simply because of how the new administration came out and said what they were going to do ahead of time.
Of course.
And the cruise lines responded accordingly. They have people in there that lobbyists and things that get the inside information, so they know how to maneuver and make business decisions that are best for them. And to me, this is a very good sign.
Thumbs up for Mr. Traveler Hard Works. He worked hard on this all day long. He didn't want to bring it unless he brung the facts, and everything that we're talking about is going to eventually be announced later, but we were the first ones to bring it to you. So thank you so much. If you love what Mr. Traveler has done, and he brung the facts today with the guidelines from Carnival, we haven't heard this in a year. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and welcome to our family. We are a cruising family. I'm ElleKosGlam on ElleKosGlam channel. This is Mr. Traveler 74 on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and that's going to be it for us today. Now we on to our date night.
Woo! All right, guys. So hopefully,
finally smile.
I feel good about it.
I feel good.
You go into the weekend with a smile on your face. Everybody enjoy knowing that something's coming around the corner. Mm-hmm.
Keep talking down below. I'm gonna leave these comments up today, but they'll be gone tonight. But I usually take the comments down because I like to conversate with you all who are on, and everybody who missed the video. Too bad. Thank you so much for your super chat, pretty girl. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Let's see,
she is pretty too. Thank you for the information. Chat. You're welcome. Love y'all. We love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everybody who joined late and needs to replay, go ahead and watch the video back. It's a lot of information you got to hear.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we want to thank you so much for watching. I guess we'll, unless something else pops off between today and tomorrow, we'll talk to you all on Sunday.
Life's short.
Have fun.
See the world.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.